welcome everybody to this episode of Charcoal Expressions. Today I'm just here with you to sit and talk about the normal everyday struggles in this business and go through kind of a few things that we are doing to kind of correct things. And these are just like challenges that I never thought we'd have a problem with. So, I know we've had some issues with paper being spotted. So we currently use heavyweight drawing paper, which everybody's had plenty of. Now, years ago, when we would buy this paper, there would be two sides. There would be a rough side and there would be a smooth side. Well, we always wanted to use the rough side. So we would get our rectangle printed on the rough side, right? And then the pandemic hit, not saying that was the issue, but the pandemic hit and all of a sudden our paper didn't really have a rough side and didn't really have a smooth side. It was just kind of all the same. And we found a bunch of spots in the first process of doing our drawings where we just put charcoal on the paper. And they just wouldn't go away. And, we talked to the manufacturer. We tried everything. We've gone through cases and cases of paper. Finally looks like the production is getting better. So evidently they changed something in their formula for the paper. And we just have to deal with it. It's like I said, it seems to be getting better. But if you have a lot of spots, I guess my recommendation is put more charcoal down, use your towel, push a little harder, and it should pan out. Like I said, I never thought I'd run into that problem, but it's there, and we're trying to get through it, so I apologize if there's any problems with you kind of dealing with the paper. So that's paper. Let's move on to charcoal. Now, I've been using the same charcoal since 1995. I've never had a problem with it until this year. We had raw material shortages, and that led to gigantic back orders. And I know some of you have used some of the round charcoal. It works well, but it is very different. And the problem we're having now is after this back order had finally left and supply came back to the warehouse. Now all this is made in New Jersey. It's a great company. I have no problem with them. I know they're going to get it resolved. But now we're having hard spots in the charcoal. And I'm hoping I can demonstrate what's going on, why it's going on, and what we can do to alleviate the problem. So let's first try to figure out if we can have a solution to what's going on. So we're going to open a brand new box, okay? And we're going to see how these pan out. So let's do it. So I have a brand new box. The manufacturer is wonderful. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're just having an issue at the moment. And I have no doubt in my mind that it is going to be resolved. They have worked very well with me and are very thankful for me reaching out to them, or they wouldn't know they had a problem. So let's take a new stick, right? So typically you guys get these in halves. It would be really nice if these were all perfect. But I don't like having stress about something so simple. I've never had this issue in my life, and it's just one less thing I would like to worry about. I had a class in Wisconsin where we had 36 people, and 16 of the pictures were ruined in the beginning. And I don't like that kind of stress because it's very unnecessary. So They're brand new, they're rough on both sides. Typically, we will smooth them out off of the rectangle, right? And typically, for me, I've used this enough where I can actually feel if there's going to be a problem. So, we're going to go through. Push down with a general amount of force, going in both directions. Just kind of going through, get a good amount on there. Take my super awesome blending towel, and I start doing circles. Okay? So, as I'm going through, this one is not terrible, but I don't know, I'm going to zoom in here and see if I can get this in the picture. We have these lines that don't come out. There's nothing we can do. I'm pretty sure that if I were to press harder, like some of you might, again, I get all of these black lines. So let's try a different one. And again, we're going to smooth it off like we always do. Go through it. Take our towel. And again, this one isn't horrible, but we do have like actual lines going through. Well, this is the best news. Let's try this one. Okay. So far, it is not nearly as bad as it was. Let's try a different one. Okay, here's a good example. Okay, as you can see, I can rub through here. And we have a clear example of what's going on. Now, hopefully, everybody can see these. But we have all of these black lines. I can get a better light on it, right? These lines. They do not come out. You can erase them. Sure. Come back with your towel. And they don't go away. Now, the reason that's happening, we have a stick of charcoal. It has a hard spot in it somewhere. Okay. And what happens is that hard spot isn't actually drawing the black line. The hard spot is actually indenting the paper. Okay. And then when you take your towel and go over it, right, that charcoal is falling into that crevice, right? It's a tiny little crevice that goes through here. Now, if we were to use this just super duper gently, probably wouldn't hurt. I mean, I can feel it. I mean, there is definitely a hard spot in here. Okay. So now I've eliminated the hard spot by just kind of plucking it out with my finger. But still, nothing is going to fix this. A couple things you can do to correct it. Both sides have, we have two sides of the paper, which is good. I do give you an extra one if there's a problem. But that's kind of how this is working right now. And it's really sad. But like I said, the manufacturer is looking into it, and we're going to figure it out. So, all right, let's go to what ideas I have for alleviating this problem at my live classes. Okay, now you're going to go through this experiment with me, and this is going to be quite fun. So I am not much of a person, or I didn't want in my business model for us to throw anything away. Okay, so all of those teeny tiny little pieces of charcoal that end at class, honestly, I have kept in mason jars because I think it's really wasteful for me to throw this stuff away. I mean, I can certainly use it. I asked the manufacturer to, if I could send it back and they could reuse it and, grind it down, and they said no. So I now have about 10 pounds of this tiny little charcoal, these little bitty pieces, right? Because people's nails, we can't get on the paper enough. So here's what we're gonna do. I knew there was a reason I saved these. So let me grab this. Bought myself a pretty powerful nut grinder, per se. So let's plug this in and see how we can get this to work. Okay, so we are plugged in, coffee grinder, top, here. I'm gonna switch cameras here so you can see what's going on. Not that you guys need to do this, but this is kind of fun. Okay, as you can see, we have dust. Okay, we're gonna take some charcoal here. We'll fill this in, not filling it too much. We're gonna put our cap back on. We'll put it into our coffee grinder. And bear with the noise. I think we'll do this 3 times. Okay. I'm gonna let the dust settle in that for a second. I have my little cup here. This does get pretty warm. Not quite sure why. Okay, so now we have essentially powdered charcoal. I think I might jump in here and do it one more time. Okay, so we're gonna have some powdered charcoal here. We're gonna put it in here. It's just a theory. You're here with me to see if it works. Okay. Put that back on. Put that on. Okay, so now we have a cute little cup of charcoal. Now, we're gonna take a piece of paper here. And I have essentially 2 ideas on how to do this. Remember when I bought these cheap toothpick containers? Okay, well, we're going to eliminate the toothpicks. We're going to put some of this in. That was supposed to work better than that. Thank God I work with this every day. Isn't charcoal great? Okay, that should be enough. So, we're going to start from ground zero. So, let's eliminate this one. Take a new piece of paper, like so. We're going to, right, we've got this. We're going to open this up. We're going to sprinkle a little on. And take our blending towel. And my goodness, look at that. We have a super beautiful piece of now gray paper. Okay, so that was one idea. Okay, this is fantastic. It's closable, even though I wish it wasn't white. It's kind of dumb. So I'm eliminating my problem at live events, I think, for a while with this until I feel 100% confident that the charcoal is fixed. So thank you for, enjoying this experiment with me. I think this is going to be great. So when you see these at the tables, it's not pepper, it's going to be charcoal. Excellent. So I have eliminated this problem during live events, but that doesn't mean this is solved for the people with all of the subscription boxes out there. I'm going to say in the last 2 months, I would be careful using the sticks of charcoal that are in the kits. If you've got a round one, no problem. If you have some of the rectangle one, I guess I would just be very light with it. Don't push down a whole lot. If you feel that hard spot as you're going over your paper, I would stop. If you have old pieces that you're still using, use those. I'm more confident in the ones prior to about 2 months ago. So just be really cautious. And I apologize, and I'm somehow make it up to you guys. Let's just have the manufacturer figure stuff out, and then they will definitely help us out. Okay, so I hope that helps with the charcoal. If you've got an old coffee grinder and you want to grind it up and love what you're doing with charcoal, you can certainly try that. Other than that, that's all I've got for charcoal. All right.